Oh, yeah. I got sure. I did. Well, there you go. Yeah. That makes sense. Office.
If somebody has a second Sharpie, that would be helpful. But besides that, it's not the end of the world. But if somebody has
I'll look there.
and it's
Sharpies are rare.
yeah.
These might function as Sharpies. I would be looking at even though they're wrong about price. Are you okay that we started him with a little?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Keene Unitarian Universalist Church. We welcome those of you here in our historic and beautiful sanctuary, and those of you watching on our live stream YouTube channel. We are proud to be a green sanctuary and a welcoming congregation. KUUC is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. The UUA supports its congregations in providing worship and music resources, supports our ministers and religious educators, credentials religious professionals, and strengthens our collective voice in our communities and around the world. Each year, KUUC supports the UUA Annual Program Fund, which is the primary source of income for the UUA larger ministry, which supports our values in ways that we would not be able to provide as an individual congregation. Later, we will hear more about the ways KUUC is directly supported and impacted by the work of the UUA. My name is Mickey Cronin, and I serve this congregation as a member of the board, a member of the personnel committee, and as board liaison to the music committee. Yay! All right. If you are here today for the first time, we want you to know that no matter who you are, who you love, what beliefs you hold, or pain you carry, our community here will welcome you and walk with you on your journey. Please sign our guest book at the front of the sanctuary, and we hope you will stay for coffee hour today, which is in the parish hall right through the doors on my right. Today is the last day that Rev Rowan will be in the pulpit until February as she departs for parental leave. So please come to coffee hour and wish her well. Each week we designate an ambassador to help you get to know us, help us get to know you, and answer any questions you may have. This week, our ambassador is Carol Mills. Your children are always welcome in our sanctuary. The noises they make are sacred. Cell phones, however, should be silenced in order for us to be more fully present for each other. This church has a 200-year history that we are very proud of. May you find within these walls comfort and kindness, inspiration, and the challenge to be your best self. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. I am the Reverend Rowan Van Ness, daughter of Jennifer Howell and Rick Van Ness. I am descended from Episcopalians and Jews, Unitarians and Mormons. I am only able to live my life as fully as I can because of the strength of the women who have gone before me and because of the queer elders and ancestors who have made room in this country for me. These opening words are shared from our congregation in Boulder, Colorado. In all the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes that you come in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. Please do not leave your joys, your sorrows, pieces of your identity at the door. You are invited to bring it all in with you, for this is one of the promises of our faith. All of you, who you are, is welcome in our co-created sacred space. Welcome. It is good to be together. Tina Stevens will be lighting our chalice this morning, and everyone can find the chalice lighting words in your order of service to join in reading them together. We kindle this flame to remind ourselves of the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Our first hymn this morning is hymn number 131 in the Gray Hymn Book, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
I'd like to invite the children to come forward, including the older group. Even if you aren't coming upstairs to build with us, I'd like you to come forward so you can see the pictures. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Should I start over? I apologize. Younger and older kids so that you can come and see the pictures. Anyone else who wants to see the pictures close up, you don't have to sit on the floor, you can sit on a pew. Excellent, thank you. For those of you who are not familiar with our block program, it integrates religious, can you hear me? Sorry. Too much stuff this morning. A lot of stuff. All right. Sorry. For those of you who are wondering about blocks, our block program integrates religious education with block building. This is a unit block, and it's the foundation of a modular mathematical system in which this equals 1. So upstairs we have hundreds of blocks of different sizes and shapes, and as you listen to the story, you'll start to understand a little bit more about the program. So today we're going to be talking about Clara Barton. And where is she? Did you know this is going to happen this morning? Oh no. I don't know what's wrong. I'm having technical difficulties. All right, well, I'll have to show them on my phone instead. I'm sorry. At least I have a backup system here. All right, I apologize. This is Clara Barton. She was born in this house in Massachusetts, not too far from here, 104 years ago on Christmas Day. Long time. And before she grew up, her brother was injured in an accident, and so she took care of him, nursing him for 2 years. Her family were Universalists. Now, you know that we are Unitarian Universalists, but back then they were two separate groups. And so her father helped to build this Universalist church in Massachusetts, and that's another thing you can consider building. Yes. I don't know. I'm going to talk about this. You can ask about that later. All right. So if you build Clara's birthplace, you can put Clara in it. Does anyone want to hold Clara? Well, you won't be going upstairs, but you can hold her for the time, unless you want to join. And you can hold her brother, can be in the room. Okay. All right. There's lots more stuff coming. So when Clara Barton moved to New Jersey, she was distressed that there were a lot of children who were not in school. And the reason for that is that at that time, parents had to pay for their children to go to school, and some families didn't have enough money. So Clara thought this was unfair. So she started her own school. And this is the building the school was in. And it was a one-room schoolhouse. It was totally free. And that's why she started it. Right? So, back then, they didn't have whiteboards, and they didn't have smart boards. They had blackboards. And so, chalk, indeed. And the room was heated with a wood stove. So, if you decide to build the one-room schoolhouse, you can put a wood stove in it. Tilly? And then you could put a blackboard in it. Oliver? All right, lots more coming. So after that, there came a terrible war in our country called the Civil War. And a lot of people died and a lot of people were injured. So Clara took her nursing skills and went to the battlefield to help the wounded soldiers. She brought 4 things. She brought bandages, food, water, and medicine. And in order to get those things to the battlefield, they used a cart that looked like this one. And Clara made sure that all the supplies were available and the carts were where they needed to go. And so after the soldiers were bandaged up, they were taken to a hospital in an ambulance that looked like this. Very different from our ambulances now. They didn't have engines, no. Right. So sometimes the hospitals were just tents, like this, and sometimes they were another building like a hotel that was turned into a hospital. So, if you decide to build any of that, you can put a tent. Isaiah? You can put a cart that would be either a supply cart or an ambulance. I'm blanking on your name, I'm sorry. Ernie. Pass that to Ernie. And you spoke of horses, but this one was pulled by a mule. Would you like to hold the mule? Okay. You'll have to come up because I'm stuck behind all of the equipment. All right. So if you build a road from the battlefield to the hospital, then you can put the cart and the mule and the ambulance on there. So after the war, it was very long. Clara was really tired after 4 years of working hard. Her doctor said, "You need a rest? Take a trip." So she got on a steamboat like this one. Why? Well, it's a little smaller than the Titanic, and it didn't sink. Yeah. And so, because they had no airplanes, She went across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. And what country did she go to that's in red? Switzerland. So when she got to Switzerland, she found out about the International Red Cross. And that's a group of people who have a lot of compassion. Just let me finish talking. And so they help people if there's a flood or a fire or a hurricane or a war, or if someone's going into an operation in the hospital and they need more blood, people will donate blood. So if you want to build the Red Cross in Switzerland, you could put a Red Cross flag, yes? Or you could put a Swiss flag. Andy. So after a few years in Europe, Clara Barton decided, we need a Red Cross in America. So she started the American Red Cross. And it did all the same things that I told you about. I'm going back for a minute because I forgot. The supply carts that I talked about in the Civil War, just let me tell you what they are. Bandages, food and water and medicine. Okay, I'm going to need all this stuff upstairs, so if you're not coming up, you're going to have to leave it here, okay? All right. Oh, okay. There's more coming, I promise. So, the headquarters of the American Red Cross in Washington has a wonderful window like this. Do you know what kind of window this is? Tilly. It's one of those, exactly. What's the name of one of those? Stained glass, right. So our window is a Tiffany stained glass window, 125 years old. And this is a Tiffany stained glass window, which was made a few years after that. And every one of those figures has a name. Do you know the name of the figure in our stained glass window? It is not Jesus. What is it? It's not Mary either. Oliver, who do you think it is? It starts with T. It starts with TR, but it's not Trump. Anybody know? Nobody? Truth, thank you. So all the figures in the American Red Cross stained glass window also have names. One of them is love, one of them is charity, one of them is hope, and one of them is compassion. And I surfed the web to find out which one is compassion. I could not figure it out. So when you go upstairs, if you want to look at the pictures, you can decide. And if you want to build a building with stained glass windows, I say I'm going to give it to you because you're going upstairs. It's okay with me. All right. So the last building I'm going to show you was Clara Barton's house, and it's now a museum. The first National Historic Site that was dedicated to the work of a woman. So if you build that building, you can put an American flag on it. I'm going to give this one to Oliver. All right. So now, who all is coming upstairs is my question. No. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Okay, well, you're welcome to come up. Okay. And Anna, you can come up if you'd like. All right, now, are you going to help those of you who are not coming upstairs, give your stuff to someone who is, so that it all makes it up? Okay, go ahead. All right. Bring it on upstairs, we'll talk up there. Okay.
Good morning. I'm Tom Julius. I'm here to speak about the Unitarian Universalist Association, that is the UUA annual program fund appeal. First, I want to say I know more about Claire Barton now than I ever did before. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. The UUA annual program fund appeal is important to me because Barbara and I have given annually to this fund every one of the 22 years we have been members of this church. Now, donation letters have already been mailed to those of us who have given in the past, and next Sunday we'll hear from a member of the UUA Board of Trustees, our own Mary Hafey. Donation slips will be distributed at next Sunday's service. But if you're inspired by what I'm going to say, see John Walter for a donation slip today. Those of us who were here last year for the UUA annual appeal may recall I talked about mushrooms. How KUC and other UU congregations are like mushrooms rising from the UUA mycelium, releasing spores of hope and love. Everybody do that with me. Like mushrooms rising from the UUA mycelium, spreading spores of hope and love. You also know that I feel a calling to interfaith action. This year, inspired by an interfaith leader whose work I admire, Eboo Patel, the executive director of Interfaith America, I'm thinking about how the UUA is essential to KUC in the same way that faith congregations of all kinds are essential to our larger community. Across the country, religious and faith congregations have created hospitals, early childhood and elderly care centers, addiction treatment programs, immigration services, and homeless shelters, to name just a few. Imagine with me that KUC and other religious communities in Keene vanished, never existed. What would be lost? The community kitchen, food pantries, MAPS, mental health services, emergency winter homeless shelters, the community breakfast program, safe overnight parking, housing development fund, and the Monadnock Multicultural Center that was started and provides services right here in our Undercroft today. If there were no Keene faith communities, all that would be gone. Now, imagine a KUC without the Unitarian Universalist Association. What would be lost? Our religious exploration program, welcoming congregation and green sanctuary programs, our 7 principles and shared values, our hymnals, UU the Vote, and Standing on the Side of Love campaigns. Without the UUA, we would not have our regional coordinator, Evan Carville-Zimmer. We would not have Rev Rowan or our KUC spiritual home. Unitarian Universalism is much bigger than any one church. It is all the UUs everywhere who light the chalice, sing from the living tradition, tell stories from all ages, share joys and concerns, and strive to live up to the UU spiritual vision. The fact is, KUC receives all that from the UU Association in much greater proportion than we have ever given to the UUA. Someday, I hope, our UUA annual fund will be a part of our budget. Just like the mushrooms and mycelium, just like the churches of all kinds that have sustained our social safety nets for decades. The Unitarian Universalist Association supports our beloved KUC spiritual community. We don't get less if we give less. Rather, the more we give, the more we add to the network of common good that sustains all UUs. Please, when you receive your donation appeal, join Barbara and I in being committed sustainers and give generously to the UUA. Give until it feels good and right. The generosity that connects us is a sacred tradition that spreads hope and love.
Our reading this morning comes to us from Rebecca Baggett. Those questions. Warm enough in October to sit outside without a jacket, barefoot. The season's broken. A mourning dove calls, "Why do you grieve?" "This world," I answer. "And what makes you rejoice?" "This world," I answer. Always those same questions, that same response. In a moment, we'll be collecting our offering for the good works of this congregation. In the words of the Reverend Marta Valentin, we pause this morning from the chaos of the world to reclaim the beauty within these walls that carry us through our week. Please give generously to support the good works of this congregation.
The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall, the autumn leaves drift by my windows, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. drift by my windows, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. When autumn leaves start to fall. When autumn leaves start to fall.
What a gift of music. Please join me in the offering dedication. You can find the words in your order of service. We dedicate these gifts in service of our mission to actively create compassionate community and work for a fair and peaceful world. Let us take a deep breath and find our seats and our hearts in the spirit of prayer and meditation. I will offer a reading, and then we'll just take a moment of silence, which will end with the bell. Blessing That Does Not End by Jan Richardson. From the moment it first laid eyes on you, this blessing loved you. This blessing knew from the start it cannot explain how. It just knows that the first time it sat down beside you, it entered into a conversation that had already been going on forever. Believe this conversation has not stopped. Believe this love still lives, the love that crossed an impossible distance to reach you, to find you, to take your face into its hands and bless you. Believe this does not end, that this gesture, once enacted, endures. Believe this love goes on, that it still takes your face into its hands, that it presses its forehead to yours, and it speaks to you in undying words, that it has never ceased to gather your heart into its heart. Believe this blessing abides. Believe it goes with you always. Believe it knows you still.
nights last long.
Summer breeze blowing colder now. Summertime has come.
Autumn leaves are floating from the trees, orange, yellow, red and brown. Autumn leaves are dancing with the breeze. Autumn leaves are drifting down. Summer leaves changing color now. Summer blooms disappear. Summer birds moving southward now. Winter time draws near. Autumn leaves are floating from the trees, orange, yellow, red and brown. Autumn leaves are dancing with the breeze. Autumn leaves are drifting down. Autumn leaves are floating. Autumn leaves are dancing. Autumn leaves are drifting, dancing, floating down.
This time of year, the autumn, is one that people seem to anticipate while summer is still alive and well. Pumpkin spice everything in August, even. And I guess there must be enough people who buy Halloween candy early to warrant putting it on an excessive amount of shelf space in the grocery stores months before Halloween. And who doesn't like to go apple picking, heading to a pumpkin patch, eating a cider donut, or going for a hike amidst the beautiful changing colors of the leaves? It's almost humorous, this incredible generosity that we see in the natural world before we cycle into the darkness and the dormant time of year. Just over a week ago, before the first frost happened up in the Burlington area where I live with my family, Caitlin Seneca and I went to our garden plot and we picked about 3/4 of a reusable grocery bag full of tomatillos from our garden. We already had 5 jars of enchilada sauce frozen in our freezer. Such an abundance and bounty is amazing. An excess of tomatillos before crops die and nothing more seems to grow. And if that weren't enough, the leaves on the trees change to the most beautiful colors before falling off, turning once again into soil over the coming months to nurture the next round of growth in the spring. We picked the tomatillos and the plants even, despite the dozens or hundreds maybe of flowers that still remained on the plants. We knew that the first frost would prevent them from growing any further. It is time for us to be done with at least our garden this year. In contrast to the summer or winter, I personally find that the fall and the spring are so evocative of the ever-changing seasons of our own lives. It's not a surprise to me that so many cultures and so many different religious traditions celebrate and mark the importance of this time. In Judaism, the fall harvest festival that recently ended is called Sukkot. People build temporary shelters to eat in outside, and it's traditionally a harvest festival and an honoring and remembering of the Israelites wandering through the desert for 40 years. Many people bring pictures or objects to remind them of their ancestors, both genetic and also ancestors whose stories intersect with our own. In Celtic and Irish mythology, halfway between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice is a holiday called Samhain. This marks the division between the light half and the dark half of the year. People believe that the boundary between the living and the dead blur during this time of year so that the spirits of the dead could return. Samhain is often also believed to be the precursor to today's Halloween traditions. Modern pagans continue to celebrate Samhain, decorating their altars with photos of deceased loved ones, symbols of the underground such as pomegranates, and with copious amounts of candles. The Christian holidays of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, emerged in the 8th century as part of the effort to replace or absorb pagan holidays. And even in Asia, in some Buddhist and Taoist communities, people celebrate the traditional Hungry Ghost Festival, kind of in the mid to late summer, so a little earlier than these other traditions. Nonetheless, the belief is on that day, the realms of heaven and hell and the realm of the living are open. So both Taoists and Buddhists perform rituals to transmute and absolve the sufferings of the deceased. And then, of course, there's Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, also made popular by the Disney movie Coco, or maybe is it Pixar? Leo Herrera writes, Dia de los Muertos is a reminder that communal grief has a place in civil society. America is so lacking in this emotional infrastructure, so as Mexican families clear tombstones and feed ghosts, he writes, I encourage us all to honor our grief in 3 dimensions. It can be alone, just light a candle or build an altar at home, or simply turn off our devices and weep. For it is not just for their rest, it's for ours too. Grieving is such an important part of life that many cultures have found ways of honoring it and centering it, and even finding joy in it. Our hearts are meant to be stretched in lots of different directions, to hold joy, to hold sorrow, to hold all of the feelings, and to allow each one of those feelings to instruct us. There are plenty of somewhat cliched expressions around grief. Queen Elizabeth II says, grief is the price we pay for love. I think I've heard variations of that as well. Grief is love with nowhere to go, is said by someone unknown. Cliches are often simplistic and reductive, yet they also contain some seeds of the truth often. Our grief tells us what we care about. I just found out the other morning that one of my favorite professors from undergrad had died the week before, last week, only 5 years after his retirement. He wrote me a letter of recommendation for divinity school on short notice 10 years after I'd graduated from undergrad and had wondered if he still remembered me. As my tears wet tissue after tissue, I reflected on my own gratitude and regret. Not only did I deeply value his teaching and his care for his students, the way he made the subject so interesting and engaging. Economics is known as the dry science, and yet here I was, engaged in this class, so much so that I became an economics major. I also appreciate the value of mentorship and of professors believing in the power of their students. Even, I hadn't taken any classes in undergrad on religion, and here was my economics professor writing me a letter of recommendation for divinity school. I was sorry that I hadn't invited him to my ordination. I was sorry that I hadn't let him know more of what his letter of recommendation had meant for me and what a difference it had made on my path, that his life had mattered to me and to so many others. In turn, this was also a reminder to me to let the people I know and love who are still here and alive know how much they mean to me, how much I care about them. I imagine that this is a lesson that some of us, like myself, learn again and again and again and again. Each time recenters me on love. How can I better offer and show my love to others? How can I be more patient and loving toward myself? How can I take in and really take in the love that is offered to me? And yet, we grieve not only people, but also the extinction of the ivory-billed woodpecker, the mountain mist frog, and 8 of Hawaii's precious honey creepers. We grieve about climate change and book bans and anti-trans bills. We grieve lost jobs, lost friendships, and lost pregnancies. We also grieve the divisiveness in our country and being flattened down to a handful of opinions. The grief can be both profoundly personal, or it can be universally collective. It can be highly controversial, but it doesn't make the grief any less real. A friend of mine, the Rabbi Grace Odell, recently wrote about a teaching that endings birth beginnings. When things are crumbling around us, new things are possible. Grief isn't only about the love that was present in something lost, but it is also a nudge toward something to where we might direct our love. Grace reminded me that Joanna Macy of blessed memory said that we are in a time of serving as midwives, hospicing dying systems while helping with the birth of new ones. We are in a swirling fall wind time of change, and whenever there's change, there is an opportunity to recenter love. Part of the richness of the season is the abundance, the beauty of leaves, the sheer quantity of pumpkins. I know I saw a number of you at the Pumpkin Fest yesterday. And the multitude of emotions that come with this season. It's a time when opposites are braided together, joy and sadness, having and losing, darkness and light. It takes the falling of the leaves for me to notice and admire just how many leaves the trees are able to grow. Similarly, a memorial service for a beloved grandparent can rekindle a desire to spend time with cousins. Loss can reveal love and can reveal what is left. Unitarian Universalists, and so many others around the country celebrated No King's Day yesterday. The fragility of our current democracy also highlights the ways in which we've taken democracy for granted. Our grief can lead to deepening our commitments to democracy, to making sure we take seriously our commitment to valuing the voices of everyone in how our country works, not just the wealthy or those who currently hold power. Grief can also be gentle at times and overwhelmingly pushy at other times. Listen to your grief and what it's instructing you. In a moment, I will invite anyone interested in lighting a memorial candle to come forward. You can light a candle in honor or memory of a personal loss or a collective loss or collective grief. I will be bringing forward some autumn leaves up to the front as well, and you can use a Sharpie if you'd like to write a name for your grief on a leaf. After a reading, I will invite you to form a line down the center aisle to come forward to light a candle and or write on a leaf. And then I invite you to come back on the outer edges to return to your seat when you are done. I also want to invite us to honor the memories of KUUC, Keene UU Church members who I know have died in this past year. Tim Robertson, Nancy Wright, David Robinson, Christine Brunner, and Susan Siegel. And here are some words from Christine Robinson, a poem. At this darkening time of year, our thoughts turn to things past, to life retreating, to those who are no longer with us. Images come to our minds of dear companions who once graced our lives, loved ones whom we miss, persons whose lives made an impact on our lives, of all those who were here contributing, caring, and are now gone. Our memories bring both joy and sadness. Let us not push these feelings away, for our recollections attest to the enduring importance of these friends, this love, our memories. May these brave and lovely spirits live again in our tender thoughts and prove that death and distance are powerless to sever the bonds that connect truly loving hearts. I invite you forward. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing hymn 354, We Laugh, We Cry.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need we share with friends, still will linger on and on. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, tranquility, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found that joy being together. And in the search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Tina, will you please come forward? Please find our chalice extinguishing words in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again. Our benediction today comes from Beverly and David Bumbaugh in an anthology called Lifting Our Voices. Our church exists to proclaim the gospel that each human being is infinitely precious, that the meaning of our lives lies hidden in our interactions with each other. We wish to be a church where we encounter each other with wonder, appreciation, and expectation, where we call out of each other strengths, wisdom, and compassion that we never knew we had. May it be so. Our worship has ended. Let the service begin.
call your sons and your daughters, call us anew to the salt of the earth. Give us to drink the wine of compassion, give us to eat the bread that is you. Nourish us well and teach us to fashion lives that are holy and hearts that are true. Not in the dark of buildings confining, not in some heaven light years away, but here in this place the new light is shining. Now is the kingdom, now is the day. Gather us in and hold us forever. Gather us in and make us your own. Gather us in, all peoples together. Fire of love in our flesh and our bones.